All right, it should be coming up your way in just a second.
We're going to start shortly. We're waiting for Ms. Martin to share the presentation, and once we get that up. All righty, we look like we got it up. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Franklin Higgins, Director of Career and Technical Ed for the Aldine School District. Want to welcome you this afternoon to our first meeting of the year. This is an informational meeting. I want to say we are excited about the Aldine ISD Livestock Show and getting it underway, even though we're starting school. We're in the school under unusual conditions, and we're starting school under unusual conditions. I do want to say as we move forward, we are excited about this year. Several weeks ago, maybe months ago, I met with the ag teachers and we were discussing the livestock show. If we can go to the next slide. As we was talking about the livestock show, one of the things we were talking about, and I want to welcome you to this meeting, was, well, we're going to have a livestock show. And as I was meeting with the ag teachers, they resoundingly said, yes, we're going to have an ag show. And so I was excited to hear that. So a lot of things have been in the works and in the plans for us to move forward with the 2001 first ag livestock show. So we're excited to come to you this afternoon and kind of give you an update and give you some information as we move forward. We continue to hope and pray that everyone is safe and continue to be safe. But we know the experience that students get through raising a livestock show project, and just the management of it is just tremendous. They gain life skills that they will treasure and keep forever. Believe it or not, just on Sunday I was looking at Mr. Johnson, some old high school pictures. I was looking at some FFA pictures when I was in the FFA and the FFA officer team, and I graduated from high school well over 40-something years ago. Matter of fact, it may be about 45.
Don't say it, Mr. Higgins.
So it's been that long. So again, parents and guests, welcome. There is a chat feature, and we'll let Ms. Brooke tell you a little bit more about that. I do have two other staff members who are on the call with us, Brooke Martin and Eric Bloom, who are working with the ag teachers from the curriculum standpoint and from the livestock show standpoint. So again, welcome tonight, and we ask that you use the chat feature if you have questions. Someone will be monitoring the chat, and we'll come back, or we'll stop and answer questions as we go forward. So if I can get Mr. Bloom and Ms. Brooke to say just hello, and then we'll let them take it from there, and we'll start with this afternoon presentation. But again, welcome to our new school year and to the Aldine ISD Livestock Show as we get started with this year.
Ms. Martin, I'll go for it first just because you have the majority. I'm Eric Bloom. I just assist with the FFA program. They're an amazing group, and we're all glad that you're here this evening.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Brooke Martin. It has been a true pleasure to work with our agriculture group this last school year and this year. And we have some amazing staff members within your individual campuses. So I'm going to start off by introducing those people. So at our Aldine 9th grade center, we have Mr. Chad Reese. And Mr. Chad Reese also works with our Aldine High School and MacArthur High School group. At Aldine High School, we have Jennifer.
Miss Martin, let Mr. Reese say hello.
Hello, everyone.
All right. And then at Aldine High School, we have Miss Jennifer Gonzalez. Miss Jennifer.
Hello.
And then
Jennifer, we can't see you. Okay, go ahead.
And we also have Mr. Ernest Branford. Mr. Branford, make it. Okay. At Davis 9th grade center, she also works with our Eisenhower 9th grade and Eisenhower, Miss Denise Edmondson.
Hello.
And at Eisenhower High School, we have Mr. Michael Koshin.
Hello.
We also have Mr. Troy Carlisle. Mr. Troy, are you on mute? Unmute yourself. There you go.
There, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. How you doing, guys?
All right. And at MacArthur High School, we have Mr. Ja'Cory Burnett.
Good evening, guys.
And then we also have Mr. Edward Arkadai.
Yes, good afternoon, and I'm sorry I cannot get my camera to work there to show my face, but welcome to the meeting.
Thank you. And at Nimitz High School, she also works with our Nimitz 9th grade facility, Ms. Olivia Sippy.
Hello, everybody.
We also have Mr. Michael Johnson.
Hi to everyone.
And then I'm going to skip back to Davis High School because I skipped clear over it. We have Ms. Andra Collins Johnson.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Mm-hmm. And then last but not least, Mr. Ryan Cummins.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Sorry, Brooke. I was on mute and I was trying to say hi. Hi, everyone.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go ahead and get moving forward.
Hi.
Okay, can everybody hear me okay? Finally? Okay. My name is Troy Carlisle. Apologize for not being able to locate my Zoom mute button a while ago. I've been working off of Google Meet, and there are mute buttons at different places, and it took me a few minutes to find it. But again, my name is Troy Carlisle. Been at Eisenhower High School for a little over 20 years, and I thought I had seen it all. And then 2020 came along and said, I got something to show you. So we are here now, and just want to kind of give you an update on where we are with the show. Last year's show happened at the end of January, early February, like it always does, and went off without a hitch. Great success, set some records. Kids did amazingly well at our livestock show auction, had great participation from our sponsors and our buyers. Kids did a great job with their animals, and things were just, I mean, absolutely great. We went home, we did our aftermath for the show and started getting things together and getting the kids their checks and our sponsors and everything, their plaques, and things were good. And then we went home for spring break and things changed on us. I think the first sign that we were entering some different times was probably when we all turned on the news one day in mid-March and during our spring break and found out that they shut down the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. That's a huge event, and I don't think any of us really, unless you were really following the news closely, none of us really anticipated that happening. We had some kids in our district, the teachers here, that were actually in line unloading animals, and the news came out and said, you know, it was being shut down, and things had to change quickly. And ever since then, our livestock show industry has been a little bit in a transition. Several shows did get canceled, and in several shows, as time went on, found a way to continue having their competitions. We are fortunate we had our livestock show prior to the COVID hitting our area. And so we weren't affected last year, and because of the timing of our show, we've had plenty of time to sit as teachers and with our administrators, some of you met today, to discuss how are we going to proceed forward. And I can tell you right now that we are committed to having a livestock show. We are committed to having a livestock show auction, and we're going to go forward because we believe it's a valuable tool for our students and our parents and our community. And we think this is an event that needs to happen. Right now, our plan A is to have the livestock show just like we always have. But we understand that that's not totally within our control. We need to follow the guidelines of the CDC, our local politicians, and certainly our school district administrators, based upon the data that comes in on the COVID situation. We have a plan B, and we have a plan B2 and a plan C. It could be everywhere from being a livestock show as we've always had, to being where we bring in animals on separate days to kind of limit the amount of interaction with people that we have. We have options available to us that we can do things virtually with our sale and our auction. And the truth of the matter is, anything that we tell you today as far as how it's going to look in January and February could change drastically. The only thing that we can tell you unequivocally true that is going to happen is we will have a livestock show. And as me as a parent, as well as a teacher, that's the number one thing I need to know before I invest my time and my money into my student's project. We think that the animal projects are a valuable teaching lesson for our students. We think they're a valuable teaching tool for us as teachers. And we think it's a valuable teaching tool for you as parents to instill the kind of the responsibility and qualities and things of that nature that we want to put into our kids. So we are moving forward. There will be a livestock show. We would have a better idea exactly how that livestock show is going to look as we get into November and December. But we will have a livestock show. Your animals will be put into some sort of competition, and they will be exposed to our buyers. We've spoken to our sponsors and our buyers, and for the most part, they are on board. We certainly know in these times some of our sponsors and buyers have taken a financial hit, but they are on board with us continuing. So we're going to make this thing happen, and we're going to kind of just give you that assurance as we go into tonight, talk about how you purchase an animal, that you're not going to purchase an animal that's not going to compete. It will compete, and there will be a sale of some sort after the livestock show. So is there any questions for me on that aspect?
We had a hand raised by Wendy.
Yes, Wendy. Are you there, Wendy?
Brooke, Ms. Martin, you may want to also remind them that we can use the chat feature for questions.
Yeah. So if you'll type in all questions in the chat box, Ms. Collins Johnson is watching that and monitoring it for us.
All right, so anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I encourage you to participate. We are going to ask you to be flexible as we go through this process as far as how, it can even be a date change, nothing drastic for sure, a location change, a procedure, how we do it. But your students will be given the opportunity to raise a livestock show animal, and an opportunity to compete with that animal, and an opportunity to perhaps sell that animal. So we're committed to doing that. Okay, I'm seeing some questions come up here. Let's see here. When can we make payments for animals? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. So just hold on to that. And how we be able to buy an animal. Again, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, later in this presentation. So if you just hold on to those two questions, I think you'll get your answers.
All right, I'm next. Guys, I'm Michael Koshin. I'm one of the ag teachers at Eisenhower. And a lot of this, you guys that have been here before know that we have our fair meetings and our planning dates. Well, we're going to be doing them virtual. The first one will be October 20th. I mean, the next meeting will be October 20th, unless something comes up between now and then that we really have to get with you guys. Then November 10th, Mr. Brantford puts on that amazing marketing livestock show. So you got meeting, and that will be November 14th, and he'll be looking to seeing all of your faces there. And it'll be virtual also. And then January 12th will be a virtual meeting again. And we will send out the dates and times for those so that students and parents can get on to that. The livestock show dates right now as we go are January 27th through the 29th. That's subject to change, just as Mr. Carlisle has stated earlier. And then the Sale of Champions is that night of the 29th. Okay, I believe this is my last slide. All animals are paid by the 25th, and we're going to tell you about how to pay for those in just a little bit. But also the facility fees for you guys that don't know what that is, that's the pen rent, basically. And it doesn't matter if you have one animal or if you have 4 animals, you only pay one facility fee, and that your entry to the barn. The lambs are $450. The goats are $425 this year. Pigs are $200. Broilers are $2 each, and your teacher will tell you what the minimum is on those. And then turkeys are $6 each. But everything has to be paid for on the 25th.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Mr. Burnett. I'm the ag teacher at MacArthur High School. And I, looking in the chat and asking the questions earlier, I know a main question is how do we pay for animals and things of that nature. If you went to Eisenhower last year, you may be a little familiar with RevTrak, and maybe throughout the district you may, but the district is going to a payment system where we can pay for our FFA dues, our projects, and our facility rentals all through one system. Things have not been finalized. They're being finalized as we speak, and should be here in the near future. And your ag teacher will definitely get that information out to you, most likely via Schoology, on ways that you can pay for these different things. Like I say, so it's going to look a little different. I know we're used to bringing in money orders and things of that nature to our ag teachers, but we're going to a new system just like everything else. So we just ask that you please be flexible with us. It's kind of a learning curve for all of us. And I promise we're going to get it. We're going to get it right. And like I said, as we move forward, just continue to be flexible and things of that nature. The livestock selection is going to look a little different, of course, as well. To an extent, you see is we had a pig selection there on October 10th, October 12th, of course, our lamb and goat selection. And then our turkeys and broilers, it says the week of. And the reason it says a week of, for if we have some new parents or some new FFA participants, those turkeys and those broilers usually come in either by plane as far as the turkey goes, and then the broilers are usually picked up at A&M. So we know for sure it's going to be that week of. Like I say, continue to stay in contact with your ag teacher, and they will definitely, as the time gets near on those turkeys and broilers, we'll definitely narrow that date down exactly within that week. But as of now, we know that the turkeys will be picked up at MacArthur High School the week of October 5th, and broilers or our chickens will be picked up the week of December 7th. Like I say, just please stay in close contact with your ag teacher on those particular dates. per se all of these dates, because in the time we live in, we know that, things can change as far as we know. So just continue to stay in contact with your ag teacher. But what you see here are the dates that we have for selection of the particular animals.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mr. Reese. I'm going to talk about the AS book or the Silver Nil book. I know if you showed them before in previous years, we had an advertisement book, and if you were an exhibitor, you were required to sell 2 ads. This year, we are not going to require you to sell ads due to safety reasons, but we will still have a book. So what we need in the book is what's in the book. It kind of celebrates past champions, it celebrates students, and it celebrates our sponsors. So if you know anybody that has a business or anything, or you would just like to put in an ad to congratulate your classmates or students, it's still available to you. So just keep an ear open for updates coming from your ag teachers. We also are looking for award sponsors for each show at the Livestock Show. Each class, each species has a grand champion and a reserve champion. And the grand champion receives a belt buckle. The reserve champion receives a jacket. So we are looking for sponsors for each one of those classes too. So just keep your ears open for updates, and that will be coming to you pretty soon.
All right, this part is mine. Sorry, it took me a second to get unmuted. Welcome back, guys. Like everybody else has said, this kind of looks a little different because of COVID and the rules not only given to us by our mayor, but from other county officials and our district. We had to, we had to come up with a couple of new and updated rules in not only the facility rules, but our livestock show rules. I'm not going to go over them verbatim with you today. We will be giving those out to you probably via Schoology in the near future, and we will require a confirmation that you have read and understand both sets of rules through a Google form. And when you submit that Google form, you are confirming that you have read and you understand the rules, and you will uphold those rules to the best of your ability. So as I said, there's going to be a couple of new rules, so please make sure you're reading diligently. And if you have questions, please reach out to your ag teacher because there are a lot of them. And I think that's all I have. I'm sorry, this is one of those new ones that I will talk to you guys about. Given the times that we live in and the hours that students are and are not at the barn, we have put in place new visiting hours and how that will look. Students are required to wear identification, proving that they are supposed to be there. They are only allowed parents. They're not allowed cousins, siblings. Well, siblings are different, but no cousins, friends, aunts and uncles, that kind of thing. And if you're gonna be at the barn outside of the times that we have set, that you need to call the Aldine Police Department 30 minutes before arrival so they know that you're going to be there. That way, if they happen to drive by and see a car or a student, they're going to stop and make sure that that person is supposed to be there. So please make sure you pay attention to that rule too, because that is new this year. And we've included the Aldine Police Department phone number right here.
Let me just clarify, just jump in to say, so this is outside of Monday and Friday. So if you're going to be up there as a parent, as a student, let's say you normally feed at 6 a.m., what we're recommending that you do is call the Aldine PD at this number and say that you're going to be at whatever facility you're going to be at, just kind of giving them a heads up that you're there. There may be an officer in the area that may swing by as well. So they know that you're there in the facility. Let's say it's Saturday evening, it's a little darker than usual. You're gonna get there at 6 o'clock or right when it gets dark. We just want you to get in the practice of just making a call to the Aldine ISD PD and say, hey, I'm gonna be at the MacArthur facility. I'm gonna be feeding my animal. Again, to give our police department a heads up that you're there. And they've asked us as a part of making sure that all of us are safe, that we can give them a call to allow them to know But then we ask you to do it about 30 minutes before you're going to arrive at the facility. We can continue with the slide, please.
Does anyone have any questions?
Come on, somebody has to ask Ms. Johnson a question, a hard one too.
Jackpot. No, we do not take, oh my gosh, excuse Chase. We do not take payment plans. You have to pay the lump sum at one time, and that is due by the 25th. Get it. Any more questions? Yes, if you have a project that you want to keep at home, your advisor will set up a time and a schedule to come and survey your project, to tell you what to do, what you need to change, that type of thing.
The other thing I would say about projects at home, make sure if you're in a subdivision, check with your association to ensure that they will allow you to do that, just to be on the safe side.
Anybody else have any questions? There's no wrong questions at this point. We're here to help you and answer any questions you may have.
I didn't see how we pay for animals.
So we're going to use RevTracker, which is an online system. Families will need to have a credit or a debit card. And we're just not exactly sure about the time you'll be able to use it, but just make sure that you have a credit or a debit card ready and loaded up to be able to pay.
I did add a little bit. I know we had
Whose
told
dog
you
is that?
to go get that information tonight. The RevTrack system is being set up. It's being set up through our business office, and basically everything that you'll pay this year will be through what we call RevTrack. It's a online payment system. It's almost set up. We thought we were going to be able to roll it out to you tonight, but there are a few more things that have to clear up on it. As soon as that's cleared up, we will roll you out step-by-step instructions of what you do. Basically, most of us have paid for something online before, whether it be movie tickets, ordering things through Amazon or whatever the case may be. You're going to go on there. You'll log in, use your information, your school information. It'll give you an account number and all that stuff. And then you log in, you'll click on the things you're paying for. So, for example, if you're buying a pig, you'll click on pig. You'll click on the facility rent, and you'll click on your FFA dues for your individual chapter of your club. And then once it's done, it'll give you a total, and you'll input your debit card, your credit card, things of that nature. So that we hope to be able to roll that out to you tonight. But there are some other options that we have to work with, and they are finalizing, the business office finalizing the RevTrack program. And we hope to have that out to you within the next couple of days. And when that happens, there will be some directions on how you do that.
I saw someone say, can they purchase another type of animal or show another animal? No, we only are contracting or providing the animals that were listed, which is our major livestock animals that we use for consumption. What if my child isn't able to feed the animals in the morning because of parents' working schedule? You will just get with your advisor. It is the student's responsibility to feed, water, and take care of the animal every day. So you will have to work out a schedule that works for your family schedule, but your individual advisor will be able to help you distinguish what will work best for your species. Any more questions? You guys can they unmute too, Mr. Higgins, and say stuff versus typing too?
Yeah.
Yes, they can unmute.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay, Jaden Harris, again, you make the payment through Rev Tracker. It's an online payment system, just like if you went to Nike and you bought some tennis shoes and you put your credit card info, it's gonna be the same concept. We just don't have the link ready to give to the public yet for you guys to pay. But make sure that you have a credit card or a debit card ready to go, because that's the only way you're going to be able to pay. Yes, all payments are by the 25th, no exceptions, and that's noon in the middle of the day.
And that's September.
September 25th. You cannot come to your advisor the day after and say, hey, I found the money. We're not taking any money after September 5th at 25th at noon. Now, if you want to pay early, once we get the Rev Tracker link available to you, you're more than welcome to pay as soon as the Rev Tracker link is released. The barn hours are from, okay, so there's a window within a window. And so from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., we're saying that we think those are the safest times for you to come to the barn without any police supervision. If you come to the barn after that time, you will need to call the police to let them know that you'll be there so that they can supervise you, okay? So you still have those hours of 5 a.m. to 10 p.m.
And let me say this, they won't be actually supervising, but someone will know you in the area and may drive by just to ensure that you're safe, or either drive by beforehand just to make sure, again, just somebody is going to be at the facility and awareness kind of deal.
Just a patrol. Let me make that clear. Ag teachers are not at the barn 24 hours a day supervising kids feeding their animals. So
I have a question.
Yes, Taylor.
So after we pay and all, when will we be able to go in and like set up our pins so we'll be ready to for selection?
That's really up to each advisor, but I'm sure every advisor wants to give you the biggest window as possible to have time to prepare your pin. It's just this Rev Tracker thing is kind of our glitch this year, so just be flexible. But I think you guys are going to have more than enough time to get in there and clean your pins out and get ready.
And that's a good question, Taylor, because one of the things as a district, we will be, and we have already begun to work with teachers about a plan to ensure that students are practicing safety when it comes to COVID-19 as it relates to the number of the kids in the facility and timelines and things of that nature. So there are going to be some unique, different, again, guidelines when it comes to the number of kids, how many kids are in the facility, and again, keeping that 6-foot distance, even in the facility, wearing masks and things of that nature as it relates to the facility. As a school district administrator working with this particular program, my constant reminder has been that for teachers, as we move forward and as we begin to open up things, we still need to make sure that we're practicing the CDC guidelines as far as safety and things of that concern. And that would extend to the ag facilities as well. Okay. So again,
let me ask something real quick to the Rev Track thing. It is a new system, and we will have a means of tracking who's paid what, but protect yourself because it is a new system. When you make a payment, take a screenshot of that payment before you exit out, and then send that to your ag teacher.
Yes,
so that we know what's been paid. We're supposed to get a notice once you pay for something, but we know it's a new system. We know that we're going to have some kinks to work out. Protect yourself when you make a payment on RevTrack, and it's going to give you you've made a payment. It's going to give you a copy of a receipt. Take a screenshot of that. and send that immediately to your ag teacher so we know that you've made a payment so we can be looking for it. And also keep it for your own records. So I strongly advise that just for your own protection.
Screenshot it and email it to your, that's a great idea, Troy, to send it to your teacher. Somebody said or asked when it's pen selection. Pens are selected by the teacher, and your teacher will notify you when they are ready for you to come to the barn to work on your pen. The meeting times again, the meeting dates. They want to see the meeting dates again.
And again, those meeting dates will be sent out. There's a handout that we have that we can let you guys share and send those to your teachers.
Oh my God, my screen broke.
So you can take a screenshot of that, but we do have a website also. It will be fully updated by October, and it has all of the dates, all of the paperwork that you will need up and to and through Livestock Show. So,
And also on the Aldine Ag website, we'll have all of these meeting dates in the calendar, as well as any recordings from our virtual meetings and anything that will be of assistance to you.
the first day of payment will be when we get the link for the rev tracker. We're not sure yet, but it will definitely be before September 25th. And your teachers are posting all of this information in Schoology, I'm sure of it. So make sure you go back through with your parents to the little folders or little links or whatever, however they're posting it, to go through with your parents about the selection dates, the selection process, and that type of thing. And then I'm sure every school is going to start to have breakout sections about each species. So pay attention to Schoology and emails and text messages that your teachers may be sending you. When we go to facility, will we need school identification? Yes, you do need your ID badge. And we also have some facility tags that we give out, one per student. And this year is going to be an additional one per household. So that's going to keep the flow of traffic down at the barn. We only want one additional person with each exhibitor when they come to feed the animal. But we do have a tag. It looks like a ear tag for an animal. We give those out to the students and one per household, so we can all identify who's supposed to be at the barn. And those do change every year. Any more questions?
I'm not quite sure what Jose is asking.
Jose is one of my students. Don't worry. It's okay. Yes, Jose, you can't do home projects at your house. Before the barn, it's the livestock animals, and you can't raise a livestock animal at your house.
Well, again, we want to thank everyone for joining us. Again, your ag teachers will continue to reach out to you through Schoology, so just stay tuned. And again, we're hoping to have RevTrack up and fully function as soon as possible. Been on the phone with them today. I do know they're working on it. But again, as soon as we have that system available, your teachers will let you know. Again, if you have any questions going forward, I know your teachers are working with you, with your students every day. So again, their emails are available through Schoology or questions through Schoology. So I encourage you to reach out directly to them as it relates to any questions that you may have. Again, we're excited about moving forward with this year's Ag Livestock Show, even though we know it's going to be under some unique situations with the COVID-19 pandemic. Again, we ask that you just understand a little flexibility, and everything's going to be well. It's great seeing you, and it's great to get another year started. Y'all have a wonderful evening. And again, we look forward to having a successful Aldine ISD Livestock Show. Y'all have a great evening.
Bye.